Now at 5 and streaming on crossroadstoday.com, the Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs is reopening the Texas Utility Help Program. Also, Twitter begins massive layoffs and massive corporations are pausing advertisements on the platform. And a Virginia man is charged with attempted murder against police after attempting to run officers over.
It's been hot, warm, and windy. We're going to throw rain into the mix as well. Coming up, we'll talk all about it.
Plus, the Ohio police officers involved in the fatal shooting of a 25-year-old man returned to the police force due to staffing shortages. You're watching 25 News now at 5. Good afternoon and thank you for joining us. I'm Karina Garcia. This is a weather alert day, which means a storm is possibly headed this way. Let's take a look at your forecast with First Warn Storm Team meteorologist Howie Gordon.
Thanks, Karina. That's right. We'll break it down step by step. First of all, warm day today in the Crossroads. Temperatures warming up into the 80s and a windy day. A boundary's headed our way. We have other fronts and disturbances pushing around, tugging on one another. Yeah, we are seeing some strong winds. Look at this. Here in Victoria, 36-mile-per-hour wind gusts. Other locations up there in Yoakum, 35-mile-per-hour winds. So add heat, or we're cold to the heat, the winds, and hail, and then rain eventually, because here's what is headed our way in the next few hours. Potential severe weather as this boundary gets ready to push through the Crossroads. 70s for tonight. Overnight, look at that. Down to 59 as that cooler air moves in to the area. I'll talk more about these storms coming up very soon, Karina.
Thanks, Howie. The Texas Department of Housing and Community Affairs reopens the Texas Utility Program as of today. The program is accepting new online applications for energy bill assistance. Qualified homeowners and renters can receive help with total past due utility payments for electricity, natural gas, and propane, plus up to $2,400 in expected payments. To qualify, household income must be at or below the federal poverty income guidelines, and at least one occupant in the household must be a United States citizen. Gerard Brown was taken into custody without incident this morning. It started when officers responded to a domestic call Thursday morning. Brown stole a police vehicle and tried to run over two officers. Brown then wrecked the car and stole guns from it before running off. Authorities then arrested Brown without incident. No one was hurt. Brown faces charges including attempted murder of a law enforcement officer, grand theft auto, and possession of a firearm by a convicted felon. Twitter employees are facing massive layoffs today, just days after Elon Musk assumes control. Meanwhile, the company is seeing a pause from major advertising companies after reports of a surge in racist comments and hate speech take over the platform.
Twitter in turmoil just a week after Elon Musk completed his $44 billion purchase of the social media giant. Potentially thousands of employees at Twitter today opening their devices to learn that they no longer have a job. Mass layoffs are expected across the company.
If you're going to police content less, if you're going to moderate content less, you don't need as many staff to do that. It's also a function of what he needs to do, however, because he massively overpaid for this company.
In response, several employees have filed a class action lawsuit alleging that Twitter is in violation of the WARN Act, which requires an employer with 100 or more employees to provide 60 days advance written notice prior to a mass layoff.
There are certain exceptions that would exempt a company from making those types of specific notices.
This while a number of major corporations such as General Mills, General Motors, and Audi have paused their ads after Musk's takeover and reports of a surge in racist comments and hate speech on the platform.
Advertisers are already really freaked out about what this platform will look like in the world of less content moderation. They don't want their logos alongside anti-Semitic tweets or, neo-Nazi content.
Musk responding to the moves with a tweet saying he has seen a massive drop in revenue, which he blamed on activist groups pressuring advertisers, even though he says nothing has changed with content moderation. To generate revenue, Musk may charge $8 a month for Twitter's subscription service called Twitter Blue, the coveted checkmark to verify an account, among other features.
This brings us to your viewer poll this afternoon, but first, don't forget, come to crossroadstoday.com/vote to participate in our polls. Viewers can also scan the QR code to get this poll, which is, by the way, right there on your screen. Now, the question is, will you stay on Twitter? Yes or no, deleting soon, or no, don't have an account. We want to hear from you. Stay tuned for 25 News Now at 6 for viewer poll results with Don Brubaker and myself. Early voting in Victoria County is at the Dr. Patty Dotson Public Health Center, 2805 North Navarro, Classroom A. Early voting in Victoria County closes today at 7 o'clock. Today is the last day to vote early. Early voting in Calhoun County Thursday, there were 260 in-person votes, total of 2,722 in-person votes in Calhoun County. 5 mail-in votes Thursday there for a total of 202 mail-in votes so far. Early voting totals from DeWitt County Thursday, there were 274 in-person votes Thursday for a total of 2,845 in-person votes so far. There were 9 mail-in votes in DeWitt County Thursday, 229 mail-in votes total so far. The Texas Tribune has early voting percentages for every county in Texas through Thursday. 23.7% of registered voters in Victoria County have voted earlier. In Calhoun County, 21.3% of registered votes have casted their ballots. Now we move over to DeWitt County, where 26.5% of voters have voted already, and 29.9% of Jackson County registered voters have turned out at the polls. 4.7 million Texans have voted early so far in the midterm election. That's 26.7% of registered voters in Texas. Over 300,000 people have casted a ballot in Bexar County. That's down about 70,000 from the early vote of 2018 in Bexar County. Over 52,000 have voted early in Nueces County. That's almost 25% of registered voters in that county. The 8 Ohio police officers under investigation for the fatal shooting of 25-year-old Jalen Walker were reinstated. The Akron police chief knows this decision is concerning, but says staffing issues led to having the officers return. The officers in question are involved in an incident where Walker was fatally shot while trying to flee from a traffic stop. Walker's family wrote a letter to the chief expressing their disappointment. An investigation into the decision is now underway. The Disabled American Veterans is hosting their second annual Country and Western Dance fundraiser this Saturday at the VFW Hall at 2201 Lova Drive. Tickets are $15 and benefit the DAV doors open at 6:30 with food from 7 to 11, and the Crossroads Country Band is performing. Now streaming tonight at 7:30 on ABC News Live and Hulu is Uvalde 365 presents The Struggle to Understand. ABC News correspondent John Quiñones focuses on how acts of violence affect a community long after the headlines fade.
I have 3 kids of my own. It's been incredibly welcoming, this community, even during this time of severe hardship emotionally for so many of them. When I get to interview them, and many times we do it in Spanish, I'm fortunate enough to also be able to speak Spanish. I'm Mexican American, and so is 80% of this community. When I get to talk to them, they open up and they welcome me, and very often they say that they find it therapeutic just to talk about what happened here.
Quiñones joins families in Uvalde for the custom of Dia de los Muertos and chronicles how therapy, faith, and tradition are helping them cope with grief. That's tonight at 7:30 on ABC News Live and Hulu. Stay with us. Straight ahead on 25 News Now at 5, former President Trump's advisor testified Thursday regarding the federal documents ending up in Mar-a-Lago. Also ahead, Hailey Min's family asked for a new hearing to explain why Adnan Syed has been released from prison. Here's a sneak peek of what you'll see on Community Crossroads this weekend. Buck More with Victoria Block Festival is in, and Keep Victoria Beautiful joins the show. Plus, the South Texas Blood and Tissue Donor Center is here with some crucial information about blood donations. And finally, Be Well Victoria is here to talk about homelessness in Victoria.
Not everybody who is homeless on the street uses drugs or alcohol.
Hi folks, Greg at Full of Pep. One of our favorite seasons is finally here. Wait, wrong one. Football season's here. Full of Pep is your headquarters for all the tailgating essentials. We have the latest Yeti coolers, drinkware, and bags to make the big game more enjoyable. Having a watch party for that big rivalry? Hollywood patio furniture or a new grill can make your place the go-to spot. Come see us at 1551 North Esplanade in Cuero.
I'm Dan Patrick. As Lieutenant Governor, I prioritized increasing funding for public schools, mental health programs, and brought teacher pay to record levels. I banned teaching CRT, increased the homestead exemption to $40,000, and passed funding to build the wall. Next session, I'll increase the homestead exemption again, continue to strengthen our grid, and add a mandatory 10-year sentence for using a gun in a crime. I'm Lieutenant Governor Dan Patrick, and I asked for your vote.
Busy week? We can help. Favor is the easiest way to get any restaurant or store in Texas delivered fast. From lunch at the office to dinner for the whole family, you can get all the local restaurants you love, plus flowers, alcohol, and more delivered to your door in 35 minutes or less. Download the Favor app and get $0 delivery fees your first 4 weeks. Favor, part of the HEB family.
Connie and Gary Seacrest making the trip.
Connie's got something she wants to say. I can say it.
How do we look in person?
I mean, pretty good.
Next live, Laverne Cox and Sarah Gilbert from the Connors.
Mother, would you like us to pitch you an hour in daytime? What's going on over there?
No, I'll zip it.
Plus,
we're kicking off
Virtual Road Trip Week.
First stop, Tampa, Florida.
Former Pakistani Prime Minister Khan said today on Friday he would resume his protest march after recovering from an assassination attempt. His supporters staged nationwide protests that blocked major roads. Khan accused 3 people of devising the plan to assassinate, 2 of which include the Interior Minister and the intelligence official Major General. He did not provide evidence for this claim. Kash Patel, a close ally of Donald Trump, said he was present as Trump declassified broad categories of materials. Patel has now appeared before a federal grand jury after being given immunity for his testimony. That immunity protects him from having his testimony used against him. The Justice Department continues conducting a criminal investigation into the discovery of top secret records seized in an FBI search of Trump's Florida property Mar-a-Lago on August 8th. Attorneys for slain Baltimore teenager Hai Min Lee are asking for a new hearing. Lee's family wants the evidence which released Adnan Syed from prison last month after more than 20 years.
We want to know what happened and why.
In a court filing Wednesday, attorneys for the family of Hai Min Lee have asked the Court of Special Appeals to grant a hearing laying out the evidence supporting Adnan Syed's release.
There are ways that the evidence could be heard such that it's not going to compromise the investigation.
Steve Kelly argues the Lee family is entitled to know why Syed was set free after 23 years. The 2 were students at Woodlawn High School when Lee was murdered in 1999. Her ex-boyfriend, Syed, was convicted in 2000 and sentenced to life in prison before his release in September. Kelly says Lee's family wants to hear the evidence.
Absolutely. They want to know what it is, and they want the public to know what it is.
The filing references this week's Baltimore Banner story, where it obtained handwritten notes from Kevin Urich, a prosecutor on the case. Notes referenced as new evidence, highlighting a potential new suspect. But Urich claimed he was writing about Syed, not any alternative suspect. In a statement this week, the city state's attorney's office said Urich has serious credibility issues.
Call that person as a witness and impeach credibility, you know, that's what would have been done in a trial, and that's what should have been done here.
A spokesperson for the state's attorney's office said it does not have any credible evidence Syed is connected to Lee's murder and said, in part, only a portion of their findings were outlined in the motion to present enough compelling evidence for the court to consider their request, without compromising the rest of this open and pending investigation.
A study published in the New England Journal of Medicine found a dose of the synthetic version of the mind-altering component in magic mushrooms helped people with the treatment-resistant form of depression. The trial compared results of a 25 milligram dose to a 10 milligram and a 1 milligram dose and found a fast-acting response to the 25 milligrams. The study's findings are promising, but there's still a number of issues needing to further evaluate before this drug is available for clinical use. Daylight savings ends Sunday, but the time change can sometimes throw off your sleep schedule. Fortunately, there are ways to help with this problem.
If shifting your clock has you reaching for another cup of joe in the morning, you're not alone.
When you lose an hour or gain an hour, you're playing with your body's clock overall, and this can cause a lot of different consequences.
Neurologist Mari Horvat with Cleveland Clinic's Sleep Disorder Center says it's easier to see the struggle to the time change in spring, but falling back can be hard on your body as well. That's why she says it's important to make some changes now. Gradually shift your internal clock by adjusting sleep and wake times by 15 or 20 minutes a day.
It might seem like it's a small change. It might seem like, gosh, I get this extra time to sleep in, but it really can have detrimental effects, and especially on our mood overall.
Horvat says limiting caffeine and alcohol before bed can help too. Exercise and sun exposure can also allow your body to be sleepy at the right time.
We're asking our bodies to make this change that we're not giving the right input for, right? When it's light outside, we should be awake. When it's dark, we should be going to sleep. We're going against what our body's fundamentally built for. So it's normal that this can be a difficult thing for people.
For Health Minute, I'm Mandy Gaither.
Actor Johnny Depp will appear in Rihanna's new Savage X Fenty fashion show. It's sparking online outrage and calls to boycott the singer's lingerie brand. Fans called for Rihanna to remove his scenes, with some threatening to boycott the overall label. This comes after Depp sued Amber Heard for defamation after she said she's a survivor of domestic violence, and she contributed him as the accuser. Both were found liable for defamation, and Depp was awarded larger damages.
Here's what we'll be dealing with pretty soon. Well, let's talk about it in a moment.
No one makes catering easier than Ventura's Tamales. Need a quick pickup for a lunch meeting? Ventura's Tamales. Need a full-service buffet for a business luncheon? Ventura's Tamales. Need an anxiety-free wedding reception? Ventura's Tamales. Get it? When you think catering, think Ventura's Tamales. Let us do the cooking. Learn more at venturastamales.com. Ventura's Tamales. Unwrap the flavor.
Tonight, see the worldwide impact of Black Panther. The stars, what will they say? And the exclusive interview with Chadwick Boseman's widow, Black Panther, in search of Wakanda.
You won't want to miss this.
Tonight on ABC.
Came around the corner, I seen had trailers broken in half on the ground, windows blowing out. It was horrible. When I made the curve and I seen my house standing, I was excited. No damage from the hurricane at all. I was totally blessed.
"38 years ago, his back was broken, but his spirit was not. Greg Abbott never gave up. It's that same determination that drives Greg Abbott to keep Texas strong, expanding opportunities so the Texas economy remains #1 in America for job creation, ensuring our police are fully funded to protect our safety, and securing the border to prevent deadly drugs and gangs from entering our country. Greg Abbott, securing the future of Texas."
Monday, from baller's wife to preacher's wife, Shawnee Henderson and husband Keon. Swish, she's on fire!
Do people have the right to be sharing these moments of complete strangers' lives? You had no idea that this video even existed.
No one in the restaurant decided to help. It was my phone that helped everybody.
Many times those recordings have permanent consequences.
You say she ruined your night.
Yeah.
Are you ruining her life? All new Dr. Phil.
Friday Night Football beginning a little earlier tonight because of weather, possible but probably probable weather impacts. So we have the East Titans at the West Warriors playing at Memorial Coliseum. Mostly cloudy. Now that 40% chance continues to increase as we get deeper into nighttime as that boundary pushes closer. A breezy night as well. Temperatures on the warm side, but Tomorrow morning, going to be a different story. Here's a look at Cuero. We have lots of cloud cover. Eventually, we're going to see some rain as a boundary meets us up here in the crossroads. So today, 86 degrees above average. Nothing in the way of any measurable rainfall just yet. We can expect that as time moves forward. Here's our dew points. I felt so, I'm trying to describe it. I mean, it was breezy, but it was a warm breeze. It was hot, it was humid, it was muggy, and look how high these dew point temperatures are. When they get to be 60, yeah, they start to get out of control. And here we are pushing mid to upper 70, so very much on the warm side. And yeah, if you noticed, on the windy side, boundary coming our way, high pressure exiting the area, all that tug and pull, and we are seeing winds in the 30-mile-per-hour range. We can have those winds going when the boundary comes through. If thunderstorms develop, maybe even some stronger winds. So very much on the windy side. After that boundary pushes through, winds will start to calm down later in the day on Saturday. And here is what we've been waiting for. For about a week now, we've been tracking this boundary, and here it is. I would say by about 7, 8 o'clock, should start hitting the western portion of our viewing area, and then really moving through the area and maybe exiting out into the open waters between midnight and about 3 o'clock in the morning, and then probably pulling away 11 a.m. to noon tomorrow, and we could probably be rid of all of our showers, and then the cooler air will start filling in. It should feel really good. Temperatures in the 70s with lots of sunshine. And then here's what happens. That cold front is going to turn around and back up on us at the end of the weekend and start moving our way again as a warm front. As that boundary comes through and creates that lift with the moisture, yeah, we could see some more sporadic showers over the weekend. Let's take a look at it here on our future tracker. Here's what we have for Friday. Here comes the boundary. Here it comes. You saw some of the heaviest of bands, and then by midnight into 3 o'clock in the morning-ish, yeah, that boundary moves out of the way. We start to dry off. There'll be some residual moisture that could produce a few showers here and there, but we're going to dry off. But then that boundary turns around, starts coming back our way again, bringing us some more showers over the weekend and into Monday. Here's our marine forecast. 81 for the water temperature, seas 3 to 5, occasionally up to 6. That's small craft advisory criteria. Be very careful on the waterway. Here's what's left of Lisa, really doing nothing except starting to dissipate there in Central America. Here is what we have for tonight. 70s and overnight dropping down to 59. Again, a 70% chance of some showers. Looking ahead to tomorrow, only 75, but that is really nice. Sunny conditions, rain chances decrease throughout the day. Looking ahead for Cuero, okay, we can see some more showers after the weekend as that boundary starts to come back our way as a warm front. And here we go for Port Lavaca on the water, staying mostly dry. Temperatures start to warm up the rest of the way for next week. And then right here in Victoria, okay, alert day. That is really for Friday. I should probably take that down because that boundary is going to start pushing away the rest of the day on Saturday. And look at that, a warm week ahead as well. For more weather, news, and sports, you can go to our app. That's at crossroadstoday.com, and that is free with any Android and iPhone. Now we go back to Karina.
Thanks, Howie. Coming up on 25 News Now at 5, we'll take a look at your stocks, plus a Texas survey reports home sales in Victoria are down compared to last year. We have that story after the break.
At a time when misinformation is all too common on social media, we take great pride in bringing you the news that matters, that impacts your family, news you can trust. Local broadcast journalists bring you the facts, covering the stories breaking in our community and across the globe. Text TV to 52886 and let Congress know you depend on local journalism. This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
There's never been a better time to control your power with a Generac home standby generator from Generator Supercenter. For a limited time, with purchase and installation of your Generac generator, choose $1,000 off or a free 10-year warranty. Choose freedom from the grid and choose your promo. This offer won't last long. Lock in your choice today with a free estimate only at Generator Supercenter, the nation's #1 Generac generator dealer.
Gifts, gifts, and more gifts. Come to the homestead and leave with the perfect gift for everyone and every occasion.
It's high school football season. If you're headed to the game, we want to see your best photos. You can win big by submitting your photos to Crossroads today. Your photo can be the next one to be showcased on Crossroads Football Live. Each winner gets a $25 Dickey's Barbecue gift certificate and a 2022 CFL t-shirt. Go to crossroadstoday.com/CFL Hall of Fame sweepstakes and submit your photos. So pull out your cameras or phones and show us your team spirit.
Taking a look at your stocks, the Dow up 219 points, the S&P up 30 points, and the NASDAQ up 65 points. Oil up $4.44, closing at $92.61 a barrel. Victoria area home sales are down as compared to last year at this time. A Texas survey shows Victoria sales are down 21.2% in a year's time. Active home listings in Victoria are up 17.6%. The median price up of a Victoria area home is over $246,000 and up 11.3% over the third quarter of just last year. The U.S. economy saw a rise in jobs last month. 261,000 positions were added in October. Today's monthly report also showed the U.S. employment rate rose to 3.7%, but economists still fear a recession is coming. Federal Reserve Chair Jerome Powell says the U.S. might need to lose jobs if inflation remains out of control. However, the Fed's repeated the interest rate hikes haven't stopped employers from hiring workers. Stay with us. We'll take one last look at your forecast. Plus, a Pokemon scammer was arrested after a tip from Hawaii led police to the suspect.
The free 2022 hurricane tracking guides are here. Each guide has critical information to protect you and your family before and after the storm. The 25 News Now hurricane tracking guides are brought to you by these sponsors: Full Pep, El Campo Cycle Center, Palace Bingo, Seguin RV, Oak Creek Homes, and Bravo Honda. You can get your up-to-date coordinates to track the storm every day on crossroadstoday.com or from the 25 News Now Storm Team. Download the free Crossroads Today app and get your weather now.
In this episode, we travel to Texas A&M Kingsville, where their impressive vet tech program rescues dogs and cats from the local animal shelter to provide students with hands-on training and occasionally a four-legged friend to take home. We'll also sit down with a professor of criminal justice at Rellis to learn more about how her research is being applied to anticipate and ultimately prevent homicide.
Tonight on ABC, see firsthand the worldwide impact of Black Panther. The stars open up. What will they say? And the exclusive interview with Chadwick Boseman's widow.
I can't believe that I was so lucky. I can't believe that I got to love this person. And I also got them to love me too.
Robin Roberts hosts Black Panther.
You won't want to miss this.
In Search of Wakanda, tonight at 8/7 Central on ABC.
You can enjoy endless entertainment and local news updates for free on our 17 over-the-air channels. Connect your TV antenna to your smart TV in 3 easy steps. Connect the coaxial cable from your antenna to the back of your TV. Select the menu button on your remote and navigate to the correct input of your antenna. Find the channel scan option and click it. Setting up your antenna will keep you entertained and informed with the latest weather updates and emergency information for free. Call or email for questions or more information. Stay connected and stay safe.
Being a single mom, it was hard to keep her safe.
A daughter on the edge.
Did you go to the police at any point? I've called the police several times. She's received treatment, been to therapy, tried medications.
Sadly, your daughter is a liar. She's a thief. She committed an act of vandalism. I don't know what else she's done.
Can anyone turn this teen around?
I don't have to lecture you because I get paid whether I lecture you or not.
So why do you choose to?
Next, Judge Judy.
And finally, a man in Tulsa is behind bars for selling fake Pokemon Pokemon cards on Craigslist to people across the country. Michael McCoy was arrested after a tip came in from a victim in Hawaii who had paid $3,000 for what he believed were real Pokemon cards. Police were already looking into this case when they received the call. They agreed to work with investigators and set up a fake number to trick McCoy into selling him cards again. Police were then able to arrest McCoy when he went to mail the cards out.
It really became something bigger than I had any clue about. And it was like instant that I knew. I was like, these are terrible quality. These are totally fraudulent.
McCoy was able to scam people out of $12,000, including people in Arizona, Colorado, Ohio, and in Texas. He now faces 4 counts of false pretense under $1,000. And we have time for one final check of the weather with meteorologist Howie Gordon.
Karina, do you still have all your Pokemon cards?
I've never played Pokemon, so that scam would not happen to me.
Me as well. I've never played, and I don't have the cards to go with it. Let's take one last look. Here's our radar. So the moisture moving in ahead of the boundary. We're starting to see some showers. As that boundary gets closer, we'll start to see the heavier rain this evening in a few hours. So 70s tonight, down to 59 overnight, mostly cloudy. Looking ahead tomorrow, 75 degrees, and looking ahead to the rest of the week after we get by tonight's potential severe weather and strong storms. Here we go, 75 degrees. We continue to warm really for much of the week with lots of sunshine before maybe another front comes through about a week from now, and that cools us down. Look at Friday, 69, but still very nice. Karina?
Howie, thank you, and thank you for being with us. Remember, we are always on Crossroads Today Plus. We hope to see you back here tonight for 25 News Now at 6. World News Tonight with David Muir is up next.